In today's video, I'm going to be showing how to replace the engine air filter as well as the cabin air filter on a 2002 through 2005 Ford Thunderbird. This has the Jaguar 3.9 liter V8 in it. This should also be similar for the Lincoln LS as well. If you have the Jaguar 3.9 liter V8, it should be similar, if not the same process. The 03 through 05 Thunderbird should be the exact same. The 2002 does have the earlier model engine, so I know that the intake may be slightly different because on the later ones I went to electronic throttle body, as well as it has the variable valve timing and whatnot. I'm not quite sure if that's changed how the air filter is or not, but I'm going to be showing you here how to replace it. I just purchased this car. It was pretty dirty. I am cleaning it up. So I already removed the engine cover here to get in here and start cleaning. If you've not done that, you will want to do that first. So now that I've had that off, I'm going to go ahead and come down here. Just going to loosen up this hose clamp here, as well as I'm going to loosen this one up here. And this is going to be here for the engine air filter. And usually it's a good idea to change these usually around 20,000 miles or so. Kind of depends on what conditions you're driving in. So then once you got both the hose clamps loosened up, you're going to come over here. And there's going to be a nut here that connects to this piece. I'm just going to take this off. This makes it a lot easier to get this air box open on these cars if you take off the whole air hose that goes into the intake here. So do that first, and then this here is loosened up, so this is ready to come off of here. So you're going to want to set this somewhere where we're not going to lose it. And then next you're going to come over here to the air box. You're going to have these two little tabs here. You're going to push this one here towards you, or pull it towards the front of the car, and it'll loosen that one. And then you'll pull the second one over here towards the front of the car. And open up your air box here. Okay, so I went ahead and I got the intake hose here pulled off of the throttle body. And the issue with this is because of the angle everything's at and how tight it is. If you cannot get your intake hose pulled off of the actual air box here itself, then what you can do is there is a bolt up here, an 8mm, and you can take this off. This will actually loosen up the whole air box, which will give you a little bit more play here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this taken out. And then once you get this taken out, it'll give you more space to be able to mess with that intake hose, as well as more space to be able to slide the actual air box out of here. So take that out. That gives you a little more space, kind of adjusted to what angle you need. Then you should be able to pull this down, or it says open, it says to go down, so you'll slide this down, then this whole air box will pop out of here. Then what I went ahead and did is I just moved this over here. I just left all the emissions lines and everything like that hooked up. I was just able to move it out of the way here. And then while I was in here, I did kind of look down in here. You can actually get a lot better view of your belt. So you can look at that, make sure that's not cracking or overly shiny or anything too crazy like that, or that looks worn out. Mine still looks okay for now. Now is definitely a good time to do that while you're in here, because usually it can be kind of hard to see on these cars. So then same thing on top of the airbox. Move this over here. The mass airflow sensor and everything is still plugged in. Just because I was able to move that out of the way. I've got the old air filter here. Actually, the car sitting for some time, it actually doesn't look terrible. Usually a good idea is to hold up to the light and see if you see the light shining through it. I do have new air filter, so we'll be changing this. While you're in here, if your airbox looks overly dirty, you can take a vacuum. Usually a good idea to vacuum it out, clean it up a little bit. This one actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, but I'm going to come in here, I'm going to clean it up a little bit, and then I'll get the new air filter going. Okay, so I've got the new air filter right here. Definitely a lot cleaner than the one I pulled out. Well, the one I pulled out wasn't too bad, but I'm going to just go ahead and put this one in. And then everything else will just be the reverse process of putting everything back together. And then you'll want to tighten everything up, make sure it's all secure. And then I'll be showing you how to replace the cabin filter here as well. Okay, so the cabin filter here is the one that filters the air going inside the vehicle. If you want to get this taken out, you're going to pull out the push pins. There's going to be a few push pins. I already started pulling out a couple here. It's supposed to be this top piece here, supposed to pop up first. And you're supposed to be able to lift up on this bottom piece. It's kind of a pain to get that top piece to pop up. Sometimes you can get underneath it right. If you have a flathead or a push pin tool, it makes it a lot easier. I've been kind of popping them out. You're supposed to pop up like this first, then you can pull it out. But the way these ones are designed kind of weird, so it's kind of hard to do that. As long as you get them out without breaking them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get all these push pins pulled out. Okay, so then once you go to get the push pins pulled out, then this whole cowl here will just lift up. And as you can see, right in here is your cabin air filter. And in order to get that out, what you'll have here is you'll have a little tab in here. And what you'll want to do is, see right here, this here's the little tab. So I just want to pull up on this little tab right here. Then that'll loosen up that filter. Okay, so once you got that tab loosened up, it's just that one tab. And then this whole filter will slide out of here. So just gotta go ahead and get that pulled out. And I mean, it is dirty. You can see in here it is a little dirty, but it's not terrible. I am gonna replace it because I do have a replacement. But I mean, for the car sitting for a while, this actually doesn't look too bad. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it replaced here. Just gonna match up the new part, make sure that it's the same. And then you get that put in there. Just be the same exact reverse process. And I just want to make sure to put all the push pins in afterwards. You can look in here, just make sure there's no leaves or anything like that. It actually looks like there's a net between the blower motor, so it looks like no leaves can fall into there, which is a good thing. So I'm gonna go and get the new filter put in. And then once I get all the new filters put in, then I'll go ahead, I'll get in the car, start it up, make sure that it runs fine, and make sure that the blower blows fine and everything like that. Okay, so now I've got everything put back together here. So I'm gonna I'm gonna start the car up here. And gonna make sure it runs okay, make sure there's no check engine light, no vacuum leaks or anything like that. Then I'm gonna come over here to the heat here. I'm just gonna put the heat on. Just gonna make sure no leaves or anything fell into the blower motor or anything. We're cleaning that. I know there's a screen in there. You just want to make sure, take a quick listen, make sure you don't hear anything rattling around in there, which everything sounds pretty good. So it's all put back together. The air filter, the cabin filter have been changed. Definitely want to take a look here at your mileage, and say in probably about another 20,000 miles you want to change that. So when this car gets to 71,000 miles, then I'll know that it'll be due for that change again. So hopefully this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.